Hi everybody, I'm Ingi from Crochet Art Design and Not So Hot. I'm going to talk a little bit about how I made the Kombi with the hippie and all the little bits and pieces, how to get started on it. It's a free pattern on Crochet Art Design, and that's a US pattern. If you want a UK pattern, it will be published on Not So Hot. Basically, this is like lots of little bits and pieces, so there's lots of patterns in one. For example, we got this hippie guy here, and we pull this up a little bit so that it's easy for you guys to see. This hippie guy here, you have to make the head, you make the upper body, the legs, the arms, the fingers, the toes, then you crochet a little nose, and then you stitch on the eyes, you put on the hair, and then you have to make the trousers and the top, and then I stitched on love, because he's a hippie, so he believes in peace and love. Then I put little wire, I put actually wire gauge 20 or 18 into his arms, only so I can bend them the way I wanted. So it was too floppy otherwise. And I did the same with the legs, so then he can be in sitting position or surfing position. So I can make him like this. Whoa, surfing, yay. Surfing, cool. And he has like little dreadlocks. So the way I made the dreadlocks is that I had yarn that was it has all three colors in one, so blue, purple, and brown. And then so I put that in, and then I divided it into all the 3 layers, and I only put in the brown. So the brown here is his normal hair, and when there's like 3 together like this, 3 strings together, then that's like his dreadlocks. There's lots of different yarn I've used here. This is all scrap yarn, so you most likely won't be able to find exactly the yarn that I've used, because I don't know what it is. It's just scrap yarn. So when you do this, you just pick the colors that you like and you throw it together. You don't need exactly the same yarn that I have. I do recommend when you do the side here and the sort of the main structure of the Kombi to use a 4PLI yarn, just because then it's a little bit firmer. Then I started with the sides. So I started with the bottom here. I crochet this way, like this. And then I made wheel holes. Like I actually decreased here, but there was no point to that because, the wheels covered it up anyways. I don't know what I was thinking doing that. But anyway, I did this way, and I did it twice. Then I did the top in a different color, separate. And then what I did, you're decreasing here for the windows. And then when I want to attach these two together, I use single crochet together, not slip stitched it. I single crocheted it, so there's like an edging here. And I use purple because it's really nice and colorful. And I did the edging around all the windows to give it more of a defined look. And before I even did that, I edged this bit here with, as you can see here, it's actually dark brown, I think, or dark blue yarn. So it has all these little details, basically. Then I did the wheels, and as you can see, I put purple yarn around here, so that's just with a sewing needle at the end to give it more color. And then I made little peace symbols. This symbol here, this peace symbol here, is exactly the same pattern as the one on my website. So I have two. I have on Crochet Art Design and Crochet Heart Design. I have this published. This is a heart version, but it's basically the same thing. It's the same pattern. And here I use lacy yarn and really small crochet hook. Here I'm using another type of yarn and a 3.0 crochet hook. So I have all the conversions between yarn and hook sizes and everything on Crochet Art Design. If you want to check that out. Then I just slip stitch. I don't actually use a sewing needle. I just stitch it together with brown yarn. Again, I use different type of yarn to make it look more colorful. Don't forget. Don't worry about this. I'll explain this. No one's gonna see this. After I've done this, I started on the front. So I started crocheting here like this. No, actually, forget I said that. After I've done the sides, I did the bottom. So the reason I did the bottom was I wanted to attach that before I did the top. So I crocheted the bottom and I did this way, like this. Then I slip, and then I single crocheted it together like this. Now I wanted to make the seats. So the seats were made simply by I put a zipper here for a reason, so that it's easy for me to go in and out of the Kombi. The zipper is the final bit, little detail, more or less. So the seats were made very simply, and then because they were so floppy, I put a 28 gauge wire around it just to make them stand up. And then I wired them together. I put wire here, I don't know if you can see here as well. And then I wrapped it around and around. I put yarn on top. I wrapped yarn on top. So I did that, and then after that I did here. So this way. With the front, this is the front. You do this way, and you decrease here. So you make two exactly the same, and then I single crochet them together. And then after I single crochet them together, I made this piece here and attached it. And then we did the top, so then single crochet everything together. So all we have to do now is the top. So then do the top. Here's a little detail here. Do the top, and with crochet it's easy to fix this little thing. If anything comes up undone, you can. If I had a sewing needle, I'd fix that better. But anyway, do the steering wheel. Now then the steering wheel, I could have put wire on the steering wheel to make the steering wheel a little bit more not so floppy. Now make the top. So I crochet this way, this way, and then I use the zipper all around except for the front. And I just use a sewing needle, as you can see here. It's just stitched together. And to hide these stitches, basically what I use, some scrap yarn. I sort of do the zipper up. I had some scrap yarn, and I put 2 single crochet, chain 2, and then the next one. 2 single crochet in each stitch, chain 2. And because I also had those stitches at the top, I did the same but with a different yarn. So then, you make it colorful, you decorate it. So that's Kombi. Very colorful, very funky. And then, because I attached the seats to the bottom, that's why that's there, but no one's gonna really see that. Then I needed a surfboard. Very simple pattern. And then I just did the edging. Again, all scrap yarn. That just goes on top. And then you've got, this guy. He's on the road, traveling. Very simple to make as well. You put craft filling, polyester filling I think it is, into the head and the upper body, but not the arms because it's too thin and it's no point filling that. I don't know how, the way I did it, the head, the way it looks, this is a trick actually. If you want the head to look more like shaped as a person, what you can do is, basically what you can do, you can take some yarn and a sewing needle and you stick it through the head, then you stick it into maybe the chin to make a little dimple, and then you pull it back. Do the same on the other side. You can put the chin up by going into the sort of the head, pull it all the way through, pull it back up and sort of tighten it, then you get a really good chin. You can go into the eye socket, so you pull the sewing needle in, back out and then back in. You pull on it so it makes a sort of eye socket. So that's how you actually shape the head. So that's why my head might look a little bit different from yours, because that's what I've done. And then you just make the eyes. You can also just use tiny little craft eyes if you wanted to. That's up to you. You have to make it your own. And then you just do the hair. Again, just use any type of scrap yarn that you have. Use bright colors and have fun with this pattern. This pattern is there to make you happy. It's there to make you, to give you happiness. That's why I made this. So make sure that you enjoy this and relax with this. And this is going to be a gift for someone. I got so attached to it when I made it, so it's going to be really hard to give it away. But I do give all of my stuff away. So also what I did, I bought some starch and I sprayed it with the starch and I put the iron on it. It hasn't done as much as I wish. I wish I could stiffen it more, so I might go over it again and make it even more sort of a bit more stiffer with the starch. But actually it's not too bad. But I'm a perfectionist, so it's like I just want to improve all the time. But I'm really happy with my hippie Kombi. It's gonna be hard to give this one away, but I did promise, so I have to do it. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. Bye.